So what first started everything for you? Like, how did you start finding music and everything?
I first started, me and a friend of mine who lived down the street, we just started playing air guitar and drums. We just loved like heavy music, so we just had fun, just messing around with it. We felt we should get serious. We should play something. I was like, what do you want to play? He says, I want to play drums. Like, all right, so maybe I'll play guitar. So I went out and bought some stuff and started playing together. And I just felt more natural playing with my fingers, being a bass. I was like, well, I guess I'm a bass player. So we just started kind of playing together in our rooms when we were like 12, 13 years old, just going back and forth. And then it just kind of gradually took it from there. I saw like some live footage of Cliff Burton from Metallica, and it was like 1985 or something was the footage. And just when I saw that, I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do the rest of my life. So that was the moment that everything changed, and it's like I'm going to play music somehow for the rest of my life, and here I am still doing it.
And what show did you see live? Their first show?
I saw Metallica open for Ozzy, and that was in like 1987 or 1988 or something. So that was a pretty epic moment. And then from then on, I saw a lot of metal shows like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and all, which I'm still totally into. That's what got me started.
And did you, in school, were you in band? Were you in any kind of creative outlet that was still in school, or did you just do the band thing?
No, I didn't have any creative outlet in school because I wasn't into doing the band thing. Like after middle school, I played sports, and then after middle school, I didn't want to play sports anymore, but I didn't really want to join the high school band because there wasn't, bass, guitar, and drums in it. So I did not really have an outlet. My outlet was just me being persistent and, just had that passion that I wanted to play. So I just did it, played it in my room, and I took it outside to someone's garage and basement, and then bigger and bigger and bigger. But no, I didn't have that outlet, which is what I want this school to be, the outlet for people that are in that exact situation.
And there's still not like a 4-piece band, bass, guitar, drums in school.
Right.
So how can you get kids that are like wanting that, and this is what you're handing them?
Right. It's just a matter of getting people to know that this place is here, getting them in the door and seeing how, this is somewhere that I wish I had. That's what I'm making the school, is somewhere that I wish, or somewhere that I would have loved to gone, because it would have been somewhere I would have hung out, would have never left. Like that's what I'm just trying to create here, is that exact outlet where people can come together and play what they want to play, and then hang out and meet people that are kind of on the same page as them, and just trying to create that whole environment of a creative environment, positive place people can go and get together and be successful and productive.
And you told me that this isn't your run-of-the-mill music lesson where you just play the song,
right,
go over mistakes and leave. Tell me what is
cookie cutter kind of come in, do lesson and leave. It's like a rock and roll community center is what we're calling it. You come in, you can work on songs. Even if you're not taking a specific lesson, you can come early and hang out with other people, or listen to other people play or meet other people. But then you're also learning how to be in a band with people, not just learning. We definitely teach how to play and technique and music theory and stuff. But I think it's almost equally as important to learn how to work with other people in a room, in a band together, finding your place of where you fit into that puzzle, and just making the whole machine work as one instead of everyone butting heads. And that's why a lot of bands break up, because they just can't get along, or they can't get together, they can't figure it out. So I can at least try and help and guide people what to do, what not to do, and what to look for, and like all the signs where somebody's doing something wrong or bad, they're going to destroy the whole band or the whole outfit.
And have you had like a moment in one of your lessons where you when you had this vision of this place, you wanted to experience that moment of, those kids finding that passion for rock?
Yeah, it's not really one moment. It happens a lot, because kids will walk in. Some of them have never picked up a guitar before, but they just know they want to do something musically, which is also the outlet for this, because they didn't have this, they might just not ever play again, or if there's nothing in school that interests them, they might just never play again and do something, go off the wrong path or something. But just seeing a kid, or not even a kid, a student at all, any age, play something for the first time, and it sounds decent, their eyes light up, they're like, oh, for them to do something they didn't think they could do. And it's involving music and just watching them kind of grow and get better and better every week, because they all go home and practice, which if you didn't care about it, you wouldn't go home, you just forget about it and make your mom force you to go the next week. But like, they want to be here, so it's everyone that's involved in here is passionate about playing and wants to get better. And then once they start getting into a band together, that's gonna be a whole another level of like excitement.
And then that they experience that magic of the collaborative effort of bands and musicianship. Like, you spend so much time practicing your solos and your scales and your riffs by yourself.
Right.
And then when you come in and you have the drums and you have the bass, and
Right.
it just all comes together.
And all
it's
the
that
sound.
magic.
It is that moment where that's when the looks on your face, and to realize that you're really doing something with each other, because everybody, like I said, plays their part. You know, one guy can't do everything at the same time, and seeing people play together at the same time, and just it's just a cool moment that it's also for everybody involved, me, them, you know, everybody.
And tell me what songs you're teaching the kids, like when they first come
Right
in. Or
now,
the
it's
adults.
kind of,
like what?
and we're not even pushing these songs. Like a couple of them said, "I want to learn Smoke on the Water," which that's a lot of people's first songs, but they want to do that. And then they like Iron Man and Paranoid from Black Sabbath, they're both all into. So they're kind of all doing that separately, not knowing that each of them is learning that song in lessons. So like in a week or two, we're just going to bring them all into this room and say, just play what you were playing a minute ago in lesson. And they're all going to start playing the song, like a drummer, guitar player, bass player, and they're all going to look at each other, because they don't do lessons at the same time. It's one-on-one, so no one knows what anyone else is doing. So that's what's we'll do that next and get them all in the room. Then they'll be in a band.
And then graduate them into being able to just go on their own and then jam.
Right, exactly. Because we're going to work on like cover songs that interest them, the songs that they want to play, and then we're going to like encourage them to write their own songs. It took me a long time. Like, I played covers for a long time. Didn't think you could write your own music, but we're going to start incorporating that sooner than later. You know, so they can start like do half and half, play some cover songs and write their own songs, and then
That's awesome.
yeah. In the beginning, the songs are terrible. Your first song is awful, you know, and then it gets better and better and better and better, and you realize every time that you're getting better and your songwriting is getting better and you're collaborating with others is getting better. So it's cool.
Awesome.
Yep.
And so back to like the history of this thought of this school.
Yep.
It goes back to when you were in your band. Hell Yeah?
Yeah, which Hell Yeah is still a band.
Still a band.
Yeah. But I was thinking about that because my friend Scott, who opened this up in Frederick, Maryland, outside of Baltimore, he opened up a school, and he's been going for like 9 years, and he has a lot of bands, and every time we would play this place, Shiley Acres in West Virginia, a big farm festival, he brought his bands out to open the show, and they were all 10, 12, 15-year-old bands, and like 3 or 4 or 5 of them, they just line up, and they'd all go out and play a song, and they'd switch over, and the next guys would play a song, and they'd be playing in front of, you know, thousands of people. And I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world to see these young kids that good playing in front of this many people at that early of an age. And just was talking to him about it. I just thought it was a great thing to do. I just never had time because we were constantly touring, and just didn't have time to dedicate to opening a business and opening a school and, you know, sinking my teeth full on into it. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of thought about it a lot. We play this thing probably every other year, so I'd see it and see these kids playing. And then last June is where Vinny, our drummer, passed away. It was just devastating for the band, like the worldwide, like the music community around the world has suffered. It was the biggest loss like I've ever gone through.
And he was your family. He was basically.
It was a family away from family. You know, my family here at home, and then when I'm not here, we're on tour together. So
family on the road.
It's a full on like, you know, 5-way marriage on tour. Just all of us in a band touring together in like in a space this big all the time, you know, or confined spaces all the time. And
it just happened so fast.
So when that happened so quickly, overnight, it was a split from the studio. We were in the studio for a while, and we just all went home on a Thursday to give someone else, like the singer, a chance to catch up because we had a lot of music going on. Went home on Thursday, and then Friday night, overnight, it happened. Like just out of the blue, phone started blowing up. It was just terrible. Like we just saw each other 24 hours ago, so it wasn't It wasn't like it's coming kind of thing, like you're hurting or you're in pain or you're sick or disease. It was nothing, complete opposite of that. So we were just blindsided. Everybody was devastated. Still, you know, it's been almost a year. We still are. So something never really going to get over.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I was like, this is this school. It's time that this needs to happen because I need something to focus on that's positive and something productive that I can just stay focused on 24/7 and not just completely lose my mind. Like
fall into a pit.
Just fall into a deep, dark pit. Yeah, which is easily done. That's what happens, you know, when you go through some kind of loss like that.
And so you said that you have ways of putting Vinny into the rock school, like
Yeah,
you
because
have your Vinny room.
Exactly, because it's still as unbelievably sad as it is. It's pretty awesome, and it's a positive thing that he's all around this room. Like the drum room is dedicated to him. There's like a shadow box up front with a bunch of his stuff in it. There's photos and all of our posters and everything all over. So he's definitely all around this school, which is something that he would love, and he would love to see these young kids because he loved people in general, but he's loved seeing kids coming up playing drums and wanting to be drummers. So he would just love everything going on. So yeah, it's just basically keeping his name and spirit alive, and all the kids that are young coming up now that don't, you know, they would never, how would a 5 or 6 year old know who Pantera was or anything? Would just never know anything about him. So now it's kind of like teaching a whole new generation of, you know, who he, you know, how big of a power that he was, of just a drummer and just a person in general, and just teach them and just kind of keeping the spirit alive.
I'm sure he's looking down and he's looking at all this.
Oh, absolutely.
Just yeah,
loves it to
great.
death. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep, I know he loves it.
So, what do you see Let There Be Rock School reaching out into the community of Gainesville? How do you see that happening?
Well, thankfully, and I was hoping it would work this way because, you know, this is a place that no one has ever, or not say no one, but there's nothing like this around here. A lot of people don't really know what this place is until you come in and, you know,
This
see.
is a DUI school.
It used to be a DUI school, so I had to change the whole, just complete vibe change of that because it was just bland and drab and like tan and fluorescent lights. It was just, you know, people that were in here were just not given the right, you know, they had to be here, they got busted for DUI. There's this kind of miserable place, you know, so we had to completely revamp and just change the whole vibe of the place. And people, the city has really embraced it, and they're constantly, there's people from the city that are coming in that just take tours. They love this. They're like, I'm so glad that you guys are here. Plus, in this part of Midtown, which is kind of up and coming now, it used to be, I guess, kind of run down and just kind of a sketchy kind of place. Yeah, that no one, you know, ever wanted to come to. But now with us, and then there's like a tattoo studio, there's an art studio, photography, there's a barbecue joint, there's that big gym across this Full Throttle gym, that taekwondo and or jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and stuff. So it's an awesome time to be doing something like this in Midtown, and the other city is just open arms. They're asking us to play some of their events they do on the square and on like Roosevelt Park and all these other parks around town. So everyone's hitting us up and just so happy and excited that we're here and supportive. So it's working out exactly like we hoped.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you maybe say, like, to someone who, I don't know, has kind of like the wrong kind of perception of like rock and roll music?
Well, also like, because getting people in the door and sitting and talking with me or any instructors, it's just turning the whole perception around of what people think of as, like, you know, musicians get a bad name, you know, and I've been judged my whole life for looking like this, you know. You have red hair, and I'm sure people like look at you like thinking you're some freak or something.
Yeah.
And you know, you get used to it, and you just kind of blow it off. Like I don't get mad anymore. You're just whatever. Like you just close-minded. You just don't, you just don't get it. And it's like, that's fine. We don't have to be friends. But I don't appreciate being judged or thinking the wrong thing. So when people come in and they can actually sit and talk and just see what we're trying to do here, what we are doing here, and just turning that whole perception around of what people think of people that look like me, you know, and welcoming people that can be their own person and have a creative outlet and just do what they want to do and look how they want to look and still completely fit in. Like no one is turned away around here. Everyone is just a part. You know, once you're in the school, you're a part of the school. You're not just.
And you come together to make music.
You come together to make music.
It's a universal thing.
Exactly right. It's total universal language. Everyone can relate to it in some way, shape, or form. So it's nothing but good things and positivity coming out of here.
Awesome. Thank you
Right
so
on.
much, Kyle. Oh, thank you again.
Absolutely.